Hi guys, it's me Giovanni, and I just need to make this quick video just because. So, there's been a recent FNAF theory about which endings are canon to Ruined and, well, before Ruined. And there was also some theory, another theory repeating itself from the Mimic being Burntrap, which is obviously not. I mean, it's highly debated, but I can obviously tell that the Mimic is not Burntrap. Now, the Sandwich Man points out that Fanny might have reconstructed Burntrap or William Afton's resurrected physical body by reconstructing him with the Glamrock endo parts and his remaining his remaining body, like human remains. And considering that Springtrap is literally turned to Scrap Trap and now Burntrap, his remaining body parts are still within the Spring Bonnie suit. So, meh. Also, the Sandwich Man said that the blob might have been controlled by Burntrap. However, even though the blob, Funtime Freddy's head, has purple spots, the purple being in the inner ears, I looked at the Funtime Freddy character, and he does have the purple inner ears. So it's not because Burntrap is controlling the blob, but because Funtime Freddy literally, it's Funtime Freddy. How is no one talking about the other games? Sure, Sandwich Man mentions FNAF 1 and FNAF 2, but not sister location. Well, then again, Circus Baby and Ennard. But not Funtime Freddy? Really? Okay, I'm sorry. So about the endings in Security Breach being canon to Ruined, supposedly there's a Ruined retcon. Either almost all the endings are connected, or just two of the most logical endings, being the true ones, being Princess Quest and Burntrap. Well, yes, they are combined. And, actually, the Mimic, in a way, does shapeshift into the mascot suit. The Mimic was actually made during the early 1980s, not the late 1980s. I mean, maybe taking place in 1982, I think? Yeah, probably. So, okay, I'm probably just random things in my notes. So, a recap: the Mimic is Burntrap is not the Mimic. Glamrock Freddy in Ruined DLC is just a prototype. He's not the same Freddy from the original Security Breach, to be obvious. And finally, the Ruined DLC has confirmation that the Princess Quest ending is canon. Meanwhile, the true ending, also known as Afton or Burntrap, was originally canon, and Burntrap and Princess Quest being combined. Mostly because the Princess Quest ending, there's no actual damage to the Pizzaplex after this. It's still intact. And in Burntrap, the only damage, I mean, the Pizzaplex is damaged, but It mostly happens in the basement or sinkhole of the Pizzaplex, not the upper levels. And to be obvious.
The reason for this is because Spring Bonnie's cut Endo in FNAF VR bears a huge resemblance, look very worn down. The arms look very similar to the hands and the balls at the beginning. The balls on the legs look really similar to the Glamrock Endo encasing slapped on, etc. The newer parts are due to Vanny reconstructing the Endo with Glamrock Endo parts and then fusing it together with William's corpse.
Yep. Vanny reconstructed William Afton, his physical body, with his human remains and with Glamrock endoskeletons. With a Glamrock endoskeleton. But also, the Mimic is controlled by Burntrap. No, Burntrap is controlled by the Mimic, even though William Afton's soul is back into the physical body. Now Burntrap, to be obvious. But even the glitch trap in FNAF VR is a mimic of William Afton by the Mimic. And considering that circuit boards were scanned for the VR game, it also included Springtrap, housing the soul of course, William Afton. William Afton and Mimic were both glitch trap, even though Mimic took most of the control. And Burntrap is controlled by the Mimic, which explains the glitch trap virus that Burntrap has trying to control Glamrock Fred. Also, the recharge station was basically life support for William Afton's physical body being resurrected, due to the withered Glamrock animatronics being withered and cracked and losing power. The Mimic pieced William back together, also with the help of Vanny, so I guess.
Mimic, as I addressed earlier, cannot completely shapeshift its Endo. It can only eat it. And guess what? These two things actually have relative. So we should probably address the interesting to know about this drawing. Cassie makes a notice about how don't the eat.
Well, yes, that might make sense because she does know that if Gregory drew that.
In as much destruction as we see. And besides, maybe a cutscene where the blob drags him away. Completely honest, I think this was completely intentional the whole time.
Yes. The Afton ending being the true ending, while originally in Security Breach, was sort of intentional. I mean, to be obvious, William Afton deserved to die. And as for the blob taking William Afton or Burntrap back to the surface and taking him back to the hell that he came from, it's likely possible, especially from super, super horrible Mike. But in a way, William Afton's physical resurrected body is also killed by the debris of the Pizzaplex collapsing or being strangled by the blob. But mostly, sometimes his fate is unknown.
If we actually look at the cutscene and compare it to what we actually see in areas ever, if this is a last-minute addition to the script,
And the blob is not controlled by Burntrap. The blob is a manifestation of the missing child's anger and agony, mostly because the heads of the reference characters and their eyes glowing red are mostly due to the missing child's agony and anger towards William Afton, even though their souls are finally set free. Their anger for William Afton still remains.
And I felt like this was very necessary to make a point to at this point in the video. Looking at the blob in Ruin, many have pointed out that the eyes in the blob are not lit up red or purple.
Finally, the blob is literally just a cameo in the Ruin DLC. The blob doesn't do anything. He's just there.
Meaning that the blob is actually set free, right? They model Chris Baby, he does. And oh look, the eyes aren't red.
Well, the other characters are gone and they're mostly set free, meanwhile Bonnie and Circus Baby are still intact. Circus Baby is set free, obviously, but Bonnie still remains. I don't know. I don't know what to make of this, except that maybe Bonnie's character is still important to the story.
Is that because the blob is look at his eyes, deliberately and intentionally changed by Steel.
The blob's eyes weren't purple in the original Security Breach. They were more of a reddish orange, kind of like fire. And they, of course, targeted Afton and presumably killed him by strangling him.
Studios is this. Take a look at the blob's model. No.
It's literally Funtime Freddy's head. Get a grip on that.
Is anything unusual? Is best by William. Burn trap before he attacks us. His eyes aren't purple yet, and they only become purple when the boss. I think so. Moving back to the ending being canon, we also need to point out that even if the ending itself isn't canon, which I'm very confident it keep him alive, and it explained why the animatronics were withering in the final game.
Yes.
This means that even if the Burn Trap ending isn't canon, Burn Trap himself definitely is, and if he interrupts the Mimic. But this can't be the case, not only for the reasons I mentioned above about how the power from the Pizza Flex is being sucked underneath, but how Cassie mentions the burners.
And that was the same room where William came from.
To be on life support in the charging station. Chase after Cassie. That's when you prep anywhere. However, if the blob that's in a video game I made location built the base game out of, heavily implying that the blob took him in through the vent area and descended to the surface.
Yes.
Keep in mind also
and
that the
strangled him off screen and probably killed him by crushing him with the
Tangle
ring.
Hole. And there is a massive hole right next to the stairs in Roxy Raceway. Very similarly canon because of how the blob is only able to move after you trigger the Burn Trap boss fight. Before I finish this video, I think we should briefly talk about which ending from Ruin is canon.
I'm gonna say the Scooper ending because even though it doesn't come to a conclusion with Cassie escaping to the Pizzaplex, it would mostly happen off screen. So yeah, for a quick recap, the Glamrock Freddy prototype is not the same Freddy from the original Security Breach. William Afton is not the Mimic. No, Burn Trap is not the Mimic. The Mimic and Burn Trap are some separate entities. Glitch Trap is both the Mimic and William Afton, but mostly not the Mimic. Glitch Trap is still alive in the virtual reality game. Burn Trap and Princess Quest endings are canon, combined. And, yeah. The Mimic and Vanny helped resurrect William Afton, except it ends shortly with the blob killing William, and William being sent back to hell. So yeah, William Afton is finally dead, and the Mimic is now his replacement. And it's pretty possible that the Mimic targets people and tears off their limbs. Terrifying. I'm sorry if I rambled a bunch of nonsense into this video. I really wanted to just make this video now because I really did not want to waste my time just waiting until tomorrow to make this video. Yeah, I'm sorry, but William Afton's resurrected body was mostly reconstructed by Vanny and the Mimic, piecing him back together, mostly, and the Mimic controlling William's physical body while his soul was back into his body. And the Mimic controlled Burn Trap even when Burn Trap tried to control Glamrock Freddy, because the Mimic in William Afton was Glitch Trap, and the Glitch Trap virus was also in Burn Trap. So, yeah. And even though Burn Trap and Mimic have the same foot, being that animatronic foot, their left foot to be exact, they're still not the same character. I'm sorry if I made this video difficult or complicated, but that's all I have for today. See you in the next video. Bye.